Coming up next, the Cooper and Matthew Show, Chicken Edition. Hey everybody, welcome back to Booking It. I am your humble and eloquent host, Cooper Cobbs, and joining me today is my good friend, Matthew Killingsworth. How you doing, Matthew?
Howdy.
As I've been saying the last couple episodes, we're having a half centennial celebration where we celebrate the previous 50 episodes of our podcast, and in doing so, we want to have questions from our audience about the podcast so you can ask us. And so to do that, you can either comment on a YouTube video, or if you're a patron, send us a message on Patreon, or we'll leave our email in the description below, and you can email us questions. Would really love to hear from you, and really love to answer some really great questions from you guys. Well, everybody, we're back, the Cooper and Matthew Show, after a long interlude, but we are back and better than ever, so...
That's right. But Cooper, I think all of our guests listening right now know who we are, but because of the way you introduce this show, they do not know what we're reviewing in this show, so why don't you tell them?
That's right. So today was the sixth episode of our summer short story series, and today we are reviewing/reading our good friend and patron, Christopher Hagedon, sent us a short story called The Inexplicable Chicken, and so, hence the name, the Chicken Edition. But anyway, really great short story. We're here, we're going to read it, then we're going to talk about it, and fun and chicken is going to be had by all. So, anyway, you want to say anything else before we start reading it, or do anything else?
Nope.
Oh, by the way, I guess people should know that Matthew is now employed as well.
Yes, also at Chick-fil-A, but a different location, same company. Just makes this show even better as the Chicken Edition with Cooper and Matthew.
Yeah, and he gets paid like $2 more an hour than I do. So,
all right, that's a little too specific here on the podcast.
Listener, we are going to read this awesome short story by Christopher Hagedon, and then we're going to trade off every paragraph. So, yeah. Am I starting?
Yes.
My family has a pet, but this isn't any ordinary pet. This is their pampered and adored chicken. It disgusts me. Why am I the only one who sees their pet as the revolting beast that it is? How could anyone love its fragile, feathered body, creepy cluck, and beady black eyes?
I had enough, so I did the rational thing. I sent the clucking creature to my friend Chris, by mail. One bliss-filled chicken-free day went by, and then another, and to my monumental dismay, I received the returned box on the fourth day with the chicken clucking inside, with no explanation for the return.
Fine. I didn't like Chris anyway. My new plan was so simple. I picked up the box and tiptoed outside to the back gate, stuck the box over the gate, dumped the chicken out, and it floated down to the ground. I scampered back to the house, jumping up and down with glee. I had finally done it.
That evening, as I was about to get into bed, I thought I saw a little movement from within my closet. I knew it was nothing, as all was well with the world. Then, just as I peacefully fell asleep, my closet door slowly creaked open. If I had stayed awake any longer, I would have heard it. I also would have heard the talons scraping the wooden floor, coming near and near to my bed. But it was too late. I was asleep.
In the middle of the night, I felt something weighing down on my chest. Something warm and meaty. My heart began to beat rapidly. I awoke suddenly, opened my eyes, and saw, in the dark, blanket of shadow on my chest, the beast, the chicken, staring down into my eyes. The end.
The end.
And also, if you guys want to hear this story and others like it on Chris's podcast, you can go to Like Lightning in your favorite podcasting app. Unfortunately, he's no longer updating it every week, but he has some really great stories on there that are really fun. Anyway, Matthew, what did you think about the story?
I think it's short and sweet. Just like my review of it. No, I'm just kidding. But no, I do like that it's short because a lot of short stories aren't actually that short. But this is, I feel like, the perfect length of what a short story should be. Just, 6 paragraphs and with, just a short few sentences on each of them. But great descriptions here and great, kind of still had a climax and drama in it and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, what I really like about this, so We have some very good friends of ours, the Armentrouts, and they've just moved back to near us now, actually today. But they have forever lived in like Italy and Pennsylvania doing missionary work and stuff like that. But whenever we see them, we always make an iMovie with them. And they're like 9 minutes, 10 minutes, 11 minutes, whatever. But our problem is we try and cram like a 2-hour story format into like an 11-minute movie. You know what I'm talking about? Like we try to have the characters, we have like a murder mystery in 10 minutes, and it just doesn't work very well. I mean, not that you can do anything well with an iMovie, but
right. But that's why Chris's stories are so good, because he doesn't try to make them overcomplicated and have giant plots that he does try to cram into a short amount of time. He just keeps them really simple, and then has great style, and it turns out really good.
Yeah, that's what I was kind of going towards. The story, it gets you everything you need to know in a short story, but in a short amount of time. Like, you have the problem, you have, okay, this chicken is revolting and disgusting, and it's over-pampered. And then you have, it's the little funny story of him mailing the chicken. I mean, the only obvious thing to do, obviously. Wow, I unironically said obviously twice, back to back there. But and then you get the climax, like Matthew said, and then the dramatic ending. And so, like when we wrote our own short stories like 2 years ago, I think we all struggled with getting the short story format down. Like, I don't want to beat up on your short story, Matthew, but like it was an awesome plot, but it was like a sci-fi novel plot. Like, it wasn't a short story plot.
Yeah,
but it was really fun. And like Matthew said, there were some great descriptions of the chicken, of everything else like that. Let's like this. Here, I want to read some of this. It is, how could anyone love its fragile feathered body, creepy cluck, and beady black eyes? Some good imagery there, and then also, he really gets like the picture. Like, he gives you the picture of the scene, and he doesn't have to over describe it. Like, he heard the talons scraping on the wooden floor, coming nearer and nearer to my bed. And so you get this really cool image of the chicken just like scraping his talons on the floor.
I was just thinking that too. Like, his verbs, he doesn't use any bland verbs. Even probably the most boring one, had, he turns it into a had, and it's just so much better.
It's awesome.
I love hads. It's so fun.
Yeah, anyway, we really, really liked this story. It was really fun. It was really clean, like Matthew said, great style. And he used adverbs and adjectives in a way where it wasn't like, oh, wow, it's an adverb or something like that. But it was really good.
Right. Me and Cooper were talking about in one of our episodes of the Matthew Cooper Show, where we were talking about what makes a good story or what makes a good book. And what we were talking about was that what makes a good book and also a short story is having a good story and just sticking to it. And this isn't an overcomplicated story, but it's still a great story that Chris just imagined out of his mind and turned it into a great short story because of the vocabulary he used in there.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, Chris, definitely very talented writer. Keep at it. And like I said, you can go to Chris's podcast, Like Lightning, on any of your favorite podcasting apps. Unfortunately, like I said, he's no longer releasing a new episode every week, but he has some really great stories on there. I think they're really fun. Anyway, Matthew, you ready to do some donor shout-outs?
Yes, sir.
And what would someone do if they wanted a donor shout-out?
They would mail a chicken to Booking It? No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, I mean, I would accept that as payment.
Okay, yeah. No, please don't. It's not like we actually have an address anyway, but
yeah.
No, they would go to patreon.com/bookinit and donate to any of our $5 or higher tiers. And that would enable you to get a donor shout out on the show every episode, plus whatever else is on there.
All right, Matthew. So I'm going to say the patron, and then I want you to say a farm animal.
A creative way to get rid of a chicken?
In order to keep this podcast listener friendly, I think we're going to do farm animals.
All right, fine.
Okay. Nana.
Chicken.
Very, very clever, very clever. Ben, Peppy, and Wayla.
Pig.
Mike and Sylvia.
Goose.
Isaiah's parents, Mr. and Mrs. Radsky.
Cow.
Uncle Sebby.
Goat.
Aunt Jenny and Uncle Sam.
Sheep.
Moses.
Charlotte the Spider.
Yeah, Zara.
Baby chickens.
And then we have the patron of the day, Chris.
Rooster.
Yeah. Isn't it like a adult or like a male?
It's a
adult
male
chicken.
Adult chicken, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Awesome. Anna.
Baby pig.
Piglet.
I can't think of any more animals.
Emily.
Horse.
Yes. Success. Anyway, guys, like Matthew said, if you want to donate or shout out, go to patreon.com/Pokenet. The link is in the description. Please leave us a 5-star rating and review. We'd really appreciate it. Like I said at the beginning of the episode, don't forget to submit your questions for the half centennial celebration. And until next time,
keep on booking it.